So good day to everyone who's viewing us on all social platforms, and today is also another session that we are carrying out with the e-commerce economy, the digitalization, how it's happening, and what are the new trends which is in the society globally and even locally. So today we are having a special guest, and we are in their boardroom as well today. So here at Softmatter, we are meeting Mr. Vishwa Aluthge. He's the Chief Products Officer at Softmatter. Welcome aboard, Vishwa.
My pleasure.
So can you give us a small introduction of what is Softmatter and what you do at Softmatter?
Yes, so Softmatter is the wearable technology adjacency of MAS Holdings.
Right.
So we are part of the whole innovation ecosystem at MAS, so essentially sitting within MAS Innovation.
Right.
MAS has invested in several different new business adjacencies, and when we looked at what we can do for smart technology, smart apparel and soft goods,
Right.
we decided it's a worthwhile business to look into, so that's where Softmatter comes in.
Okay. So what is this wearable technology and where it is sitting in the business world today?
Right. So wearable technology is any technology that you can keep on your person, right? And
Right.
Depending on which market sizing you look at, wearable technology today is probably a $6 to $100 billion business,
Right.
with all the devices, and it will potentially reach about $450 billion by
Wow.
2030. So
Right.
it's a big business, and there are in today's world probably about 1.5 billion connected devices.
Right.
So which means that a lot of the very good portion of the people in the world are wearing wearable technology, and they are being connected to the whole of things, as we call it.
Okay.
So it is a big business, and smart apparel is probably about 5 to 6% of that whole entire wearable technology.
Okay. So what are the other industries that wearable technologies are engaged in? Not only the apparel industry, according to your answer. So what are the other industries that you see this wearable technology is playing a key role with?
Absolutely. So wearable technology is pretty much synonymous with consumer technology, which means your mobile devices, your AR, VR devices, your gaming devices. So that entire consumer technology can benefit from wearable technology. So a lot of the wearable technology applications, especially what you wear on your wristables, fitness trackers, smartwatches. So all of this is related to the consumer tech industry.
Right.
But however, something that is very interesting and very important is that even health tech is gearing towards wearable technology more and more, with digital health coming into play, and then also personalized portable medical devices coming into play. A lot of these will transition again into wearables for telemedicine and remote monitoring.
So what are these technologies, modern technologies in wearables in today's generation? Because today it is disrupting on a very, very quick basis. It's not the technology which was 10 years ago, which is today. When you look at that, it is totally different, totally developed. And what we saw maybe 5 years ago is already traditional technology. So what is the modern day technology in today's generation? What is most selling and what is mostly popular within this generation?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So this generation is a connected generation, compared to the generations of past, and even including us. This current generation and the upcoming generations, they remain pretty much connected to the whole world. So data is key in this context, because a lot of that data goes into machine learning, AI, which is again next technology that defines this generation. So so data is key, and then a lot of these devices can create your Personal ID, it can measure your personal metrics. So the current generation obviously wants to keep tabs of where they are in terms of their performance as well as their health. And then some of this generation also would want to use wearable technology as a tool to keep up with, like, their gamer score, their cloud score, things that matter to them, and then being able to share that in the social media and the whole Internet of Things.
Right.
And then finally, as I mentioned earlier, like, something that's also important to them is wellness, being sustainable, being healthy. So that care at home concept, like, being able to not go to a hospital, but make use of wearable technology to, share your metrics with a caregiver or a doctor. So that sort of thing, I think, is going to be very important, and that technology is also rapidly becoming part of this new generation.
Amazing. And out of curiosity, MAS is the largest apparel manufacturer in Sri Lanka. So why are they in the scope of digital wearables, and how are they integrating this digital technology into the apparel business? Why is MAS so interested in this technology?
So MAS has an innovation principle. Like, we always treat it with three different perspectives. So there is the what's needed part. Like, is there a need? Is there a gap in the market that needs to be addressed? And then what's possible? Can we address that need meaningfully? And then what's required? Do we have the right tools, the right connections to take that solution to the market? So all of these pieces need to come into play for MAS to to innovate on a certain area. So wearable technology, among a few other areas, is one of these areas where MAS has strongly felt that we can make an impact. Predominantly because there is also this whole convergence of smart into soft. If you take laptops 10 years back, a lot of just pieces of metal, but today you see leather, today you see fabric keyboards, today you see a lot of soft materials coming into play. Same with smart speakers, everything is fabric related. So there is this whole convergence of smart into soft, which is one other area that MAS really wanted to tap into, because our capability lies with softs. And then additionally, we bring 30 years of experience of putting things next to skin. That's our expertise. Like, so we know where a sensor should go. We know how to make it be comfortable, and we know how to make it be durable. So that whole synergies coming into play is how MAS started on wearable technology.
So to capitalize, in one of your answers you gave me previously, you were talking about the healthcare industry. How does Softmatter and Twinery using this wearable technology in the healthcare industry, so that it is really helping this industry to move from where it is now to the future? How is it helping?
Yeah, when we started actually experimenting with wearable technology about 10 years back, actually, a lot of the interest was on performance, like, how do you measure your calories, your steps, and all of that. So we helped a lot of startups back in the day to realize their concepts into scalable product by using our software technologies, but measuring things that were, yes, health related, wellness related, but like, more geared towards performance and so on and so forth. But that space was overtaken by the wristable, because one wristable can replace multiple, smart shirts that can measure your calories. So because of that, that space was disrupted. But we kept on developing the same sensors, the same sort of conductive drivers and integration methods, so that we can measure things more accurately. Like, instead of needing 11 wet electrodes to get your ECG signature, we can use 3 to 4 dry electrodes to measure them using a smart garment or a harness. So because of that, right now we are enabling this remote monitoring concepts where you don't need to go to a doctor, you don't need to go to a hospital. Maybe pre-procedure or post-procedure monitoring can be done at your home, wearing one of those smart apparel or smart accessory devices, so that the caregiver can check your status. Or maybe you are an elderly living alone, and then if you're wearing one of those smart harnesses or a smart garment, it can keep track of you. It can understand whether you are at the risk of falling down. It can also send an alert to someone like your loved one. So things like that, the technology barriers that has been removed to make those things is what making Softmatter deliver on the digital health front.
Amazing.
Did you know that you could increase your sales by 85% using an online store? But how to start the shop, upload the products, how to maintain and promote the store. Start selling online today. Create your shop now.
So once again, you guys are joining us on boardroom sessions. So joining us today is Mr. Vishwa Aluthge. He's the Chief Products Officer at Softmatter, a part of MAS. So once again, coming into the question, globally, technology is being disrupting every single industry. So for most of the business leaders, it's quite challenging. As the apparel sector, how do you find these challenges? What are the challenges and what are your strategies to work on this?
Yeah, so as with every industry, I think wearables comes with its own set of challenges. And if I were to be really honest, I would say there are three main challenges that we had breaking into wearable technology. The first thing was that a lot of the wearable technology products, especially smart apparel, were not really elegant and consumer friendly. So they were almost like very tech heavy prototype type of devices. So that is a very big barrier to entry, because consumers don't like to wear things that look like you are wearing a clinical device or you are wearing some robotic device. So first challenge for us to overcome was to make things look natural, look more seamless and regular as the type of cloth that you're wearing. So people who don't want to stand out by wearing wearable tech. And the second aspect or the second challenge that we had was the cost, because technology is expensive, especially when it's at early stages. So how do you make wearable technology affordable and also scalable at scale? So we invested in solutions, things like technology, smart materials, investments in automation, investment in machinery that can help us scale up. That makes smart technology products cheaper to manufacture, as well as for consumers to afford them. And the final challenge that we had was in durability. A lot of the smart apparel products back in the day, you had to take care of them with kid gloves. You have to not wash them, or wash them in a wash bag, to take special care of them so they don't break.
I think we all can relate to that.
Absolutely. At MAS, our core business is about making things that last 50-watt cycles without any issue. You can wear them every day, every week, and then wash them and without any issue. So that's the philosophy we brought into smart apparel. We wanted to make smart apparel products as durable as your regular apparel product. So we invested in testing and validation at a very early stage to ensure whatever we are making, people didn't have to take special care of it. So that's how we solved the durability challenge. So the three things about those barriers about wearable technology that people had to adopt technology, I think that's how we managed to sort of circumvent that.
Right. So I just wanted to connect some of the questions which I was asking you, and with the answers you gave me, I just want to connect the dots. So as you correctly mentioned, MAS has specialized in getting close to human skin and getting to know how the apparel industry can get more suitable for humans. As well as in one of your answers you were saying, you are inventing a piece of cloth where you can put it on and without even going to a doctor, you can wear it. So how do you find these challenges? What are the challenges that you face? And how do you overcome these challenges?
Yeah,
they can monitor everything of yours.
Yeah.
So with these technologies, even a wristwatch, a mobile device, or whatever wearable technology, it is very close to your skin. And with technology, you monitor every single thing of a human being. What is the threat of this to human life?
Exactly. So very good question. So I think there are two sides to every technology, every new innovation, right? So there is the good, and then there is the sort of the downside to it. So I think with wearable technology, the way that we have built, we have always tried to minimize the downsides.
Right.
So anything you wear on yourself needs to be biocompatible. That means it needs to work well with your skin.
Yeah.
And there are multiple skin types in this world, so we need to ensure that it works with every skin type of skin. So biocompatibility of selecting the right material, and then even after selecting the right material, doing the right type of testing to ensure that it works with any skin type is paramount to us. So that's one key part of taking the technology to masses. We obviously rely on our 30 years of next to skin experience to understand how to make this technology comfortable, because a lot of the reasons why technology also fails, people can't keep wearing these 24/7.
Yeah.
They are not comfortable. Like, you can't. It creates abrasion. It creates friction. It creates heat. So part of making wearable technology safer for humans is by making these devices by design more breathable, comfortable, lighter weight, and so on and so forth. So that's those I would say those are the two main threats to humans, and that and then potential ways to sort of mitigate it.
Right.
But there is one more thing which is related to the data itself. So with every bit of data that is being captured from your body, that data belongs to you. How the wearable device processes that data, stores that data, transmits that data is very relevant to you. So there is a lot of privacy and security concerns around how the data is being used. So that's one big part of all the regulations that are in play, like GDPR in the Europe and a lot of other areas, how the wearable data is being managed. So I think there are enough and more regulations coming into play to make that area safer to humans as well.
So with this sort of enormous technology which MAS is playing, how is it evolving, and how is it giving its 100%? I don't know how you guys are contributing towards the economic development, but can you really explain how can this sort of technology help the economic development globally and even locally?
Yeah, so there are multiple ways I think wearable technology can play a part in economic development. First is that certain types of wearable technologies are supposed to make your life easier, in the sense it will supplement your work. Like, you can have an exoskeleton or an exosuit that helps you lift things up easily, that helps you climb stairs, that helps you do your job a little better. So I think that plays a part. And then secondly, a lot of these digital products can be your digital ID, can be your payment method. So a lot of the retail activity and economic activity can be propagated by having a wearable device which has your personal authentication built in. So that's, I think, it's a secondary method. And then thirdly, and more importantly, I think wearable technology can elevate your health outcomes. As I mentioned, so people now who could not afford to go to a hospital, maybe they were too far, maybe they didn't have the facilities. Let's say like a rural area in one of the Asian countries. So wearable technology can bridge the gap between care and the person who needs care by bringing telemedicine solution, by bringing remote monitoring solutions. So I do think wearable technology can especially elevate health outcomes in disadvantaged countries. So that is probably one key area of improving the economic outlook of an entire nation, if you take it that way.
Super. So, since MAS is coming from the fashion industry, apparel industry, I initially thought wearable devices is just for the fashion industry only. But now with this discussion improving, I just understood it is not only in one single industry. So how is this impacting the retail business now? So it's not only a part of the fashion business now, or the fashion industry, or the apparel industry. So how is it really impacting the retail side of the business?
So there are a few ways I think wearables are impacting retail. Primarily, like as I mentioned earlier as well, payments are becoming digitized. So a lot of the smartwatches these days have payment options on them.
Absolutely.
So people do not need to carry their wallets and cards and all of that. So that part is making retail business much easier. And then secondly, there are certain wearable devices or smart garments that helps consumers measure themselves for their fit to find the perfect fit of apparel. So in the fashion industry itself, the wearable technology is being used with again with devices like retail mirrors that can take your measurements to something that you wear that can get your perfect measurements and then transform that into fashion choices for you. So that aspect is improving consumer to retail business.
Right.
And then lastly, I think a lot of brands are now trying to create this whole engagement with their consumers.
Right.
Not just having a single one-time contact at retail point, but also trying to have the contact with the consumer throughout the life cycle of the product. How wearable technology can enable that is by creating NFC, RFID type of solutions,
Right.
where you can track the product from manufacturing straight to the end of life of that product. So at the retail floor, when the product exchange hands to the consumer can engage with that NFC through their mobile device.
So this is like extending the steps of the customer journey.
Absolutely. So multiple points of contact throughout the product life cycle. It could be to pass on product news to the customer, saying that, hey, there's a new version of that jacket available with us, come and check it out. Or it could be even saying if you wear our product and you can have access to our concert, because the product acts as the digital ID which gives you access to the concert. So there are multiple ways brands can use at retail and beyond to engage with the consumer using wearable tech.
Amazing. With what you told me lastly, what are these new trends? You were talking about some of the trends, like the wearable costume might be the entry ticket to a concert.
Yeah.
So what are the other trends that we are seeing like this in the wearable technology industry?
So one particular one is about the metaverse. So a lot of virtual reality going on these days, a lot of product development. So AR, VR is essentially wearable, and through that, people are now trying to enhance their experiences in AR, VR gaming by wearing additional accessories and new feedback into the body, so that they can have a fully immersive experience.
Right.
So I think it is a trend that I see, especially in the gaming community, to see a lot more in-body response. So rather than just rely on your
Joystick.
Controller to sort of give you feedback. Why not have it in your body? If you get shot, why not feel it in your chest? So things like that is a massive trend. And then there is also this again the metaverse related thing about creating your digital presence. So how you can create an avatar of yourself. And that can act like you in the virtual world. So wearable technology can again help extract motion data, your mood data, and a lot of other things about you to be extracted into that your virtual persona, so to speak. So I think that's also an emerging trend. Then finally, digital health, it's everywhere. A lot of the products or services that you use to get at hospitals are now coming into our home. Lab tests are coming home. Your CPAP therapy is coming home for your sleep apnea.
Well, that's news to me.
Yeah, so a lot of the monitoring is again coming home as well. So the doctor, you don't need to go to the hospital 3 days before the surgery. Doctor can monitor you for those 3 days at home, and you don't need to go to the hospital and come back after your procedure.
So is this sort of technology being used elsewhere in the world?
It is. You see, these examples that I mentioned are being used in real life.
Right.
Maybe not so much in Sri Lanka and Asia right now, but in the rest of the world, people are starting to take these up. So that's why we see them as emergent trends, and we are trying to develop technologies that can support those.
Amazing. So Vishwa, one final question that I just want to ask you. So if someone is going to start a business in the tech world, or let's say in the apparel business, what is your advice to him? What do you think this person should be doing today to focus on the future?
I think the biggest part of any sort of tech entrepreneur is to be curious.
Right.
Ask the right questions, because without challenging the status quo, you're not gonna get anywhere. So I think this whole thing about asking the questions, taking risks, and not being afraid to fail are key things that any entrepreneur, whether it's on wearable tech or any other technology business, can do. The second aspect of it is to surround yourself with a good ecosystem. Right? It can be your customers, it can be your suppliers, it can be academic researchers, it can be your technology development partners. So all of them can contribute and take you further than you would be able to go alone by yourself. So I think those two aspects would actually help many budding entrepreneurs in this domain. And finally, I would like them to not to treat failure as a reason to stop. Like, failure is good, failure is a learning.
Very true.
So just take your failures and take your learnings.
Thank you very much. So today, joined with us is Mr. Vishwa Aluthge, the Chief Products Officer at Softmatter. So thank you very much for joining us, Vishwa. And we want to bid you farewell. We will meet with you with a brand new session next time. So till then, stay tuned, everyone. Did you know that you could increase your sales by 85% using an online store? But how to set up the shop, upload the products, maintain, and how to promote the store? Introducing ShopOnCloud, your ultimate online selling solution. Your shop can be created in under 2 minutes. Plus, constant training guidance to enhance your online selling. Still need proof? How about this? ShopOnCloud was their solution too. With ShopOnCloud, your business is global now. Start selling online today. Create your shop now. Visit www.shoponcloud.com.